All right, I'm not trying to brag, but for an intro to a tripod video, I feel like this is a pretty smooth first shot, wouldn't you say? This is the TRIBEX, the world's greatest tripod, according to me. But of course I would say that. I got to co-design this tripod along with SmallRig. Now I'm proud to say it is the first of its kind. It's very unique. So in this video, I'll be going over exactly how this tripod was designed to be used so that you could use it as efficiently as possible. We'll be going over all the functions and features that you may not know about, like the one-way pull system, and hopefully clearing up some common misconceptions, like if you use the tripod in sand, it's gonna ruin the tripod. When actually it's totally fine, just try not to get sand in the internals, and even if it does get in there, there is a way to flush it out. Now the biggest thing I learned from working on this tripod is that everything is kind of this balancing act. You have to balance weight and size. You know, there's great 3 to 4 pound ultra compact tripods, but they tend to lack the capability I'm looking for, especially for video. On the other hand, there's 75 mil, 100 mil tripods, which are amazing, super fluid, but I tend to leave them behind more often than I want to admit. This is not really designed to replace either of those. It splits the middle to give you some decent video capabilities, but still compact enough for it to come with you everywhere. Because you know what they say, right? The best tripod is the one you have on you, or something like that. I was very selfish when I designed this, not gonna lie, because I wanted to design the tripod that I knew that I wanted. You know, I should probably find a safer place to film the rest of this video. So let's get down and get into how to set it up with
PotatoJet or PotatoJet Mini.
Mini Spud, a Cucumber Jet was another
There's so many
recommendation.
names.
He's about to graduate high school right now, so we're putting him through PotatoJet boot camp, also known as an unpaid internship.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Not beat up like all of our tripods, because we do put our tripods through a lot of abuse, but that's what this is designed for.
Oh my gosh, holy.
Oh, nice and light.
Carbon fiber, which is why it's so lightweight, but also does add to the price a bit. But when you're hiking it up the side of a mountain, every ounce counts. So.
It comes with a guarantee card.
Oh yes, so all these tripods do come with a warranty, so if you're having any issues, then reach out to TRIBEX at smallrig.com. But also, we really appreciate everyone that got the first generation of this tripod, which has the orange handle. If you have an orange handle, warranty has been extended out to 10 years as a thank you for putting your trust in us and new technology. Let's see what else we got.
An Allen key.
4 mil Allen, but you won't really need that necessarily because there is one down here. There you
Sick. So we have a spare, I guess.
And of course, we have our handle, which does telescope, by the way. So go ahead and plop it down. Yeah, you just spread the legs. Yep.
Oh, I feel like a pro already.
So starting with the clutch handle, right now it's straight down in storage mode, but go ahead and pull it out to the side, and that's kind of your angled mode.
Okay.
It locks into place. If you push that PJ button right there and bring it up, it'll lock in sideways as well. I personally like it at the angled mode right there. Now right now the clutch is deactivated. It's kind of in grip mode or storage mode, but if you just pull it out, notice it pops in and now it's active. And then when you want to recollapse it, you just turn that little dial and it collapses just like that. All right, so now for the fun part, once you figure out how high you want your tripod to be, you engage the clutch like that and you squeeze it.
Oh, wow.
And then there you go. And I didn't just set the height right there. I also leveled out the tripod. I can pan or tilt in any direction and my camera's horizon won't ever really be crooked like that. It's your turn to give it a shot.
All right.
Let's see if you're worthy of being PotatoJet Mini or if you're gonna be a disgrace to the PotatoJet name.
Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought.
Notice if we look at the bubble level, the bubble isn't center in that circle. So that means you're not evenly balanced. So now go ahead and try to squeeze the clutch and just rebalance that out. And you want to use that top bubble level as much as possible. That's going to give you better accuracy if the bubble level is higher up on the head. The one on the legs is there more for if you are using a different head or maybe like a small slider that may not have a bubble level on it. Then it's nice to just kind of have one on the legs. Now let's try again, but let's set the height as well as the level in one go. So go ahead and squeeze, you drop the legs, and before you let go, you want to just make sure that's nice and even.
I feel
there
like
you go.
Okay,
Smooth.
put some respect on my name.
And one thing that's important to keep in mind is notice when you squeeze it and you release it, it takes a split second to reset, right? That's how long it takes for all the legs to lock. And that's because of the viscosity of the hydraulic fluid. But that's the same fluid that gives it a really strong lock. I definitely do not recommend hanging on it at all, but you can trust it with your camera. So what you don't want to do is set it up and then just let go. And see how it sank like that?
And I lost a level.
So it's a good idea to have a hand supporting the tripod as you level it out, then release the clutch, and once that's reset, bam.
Perfect.
Like process is the same if you're on uneven terrain, say like rocks or whatever. And this is one of those things where the more you practice with it, the more comfortable you feel with it, and you start to get a feel for how long it takes for it to lock, and you can also start to just kind of do it one-handed by kind of supporting it with your palm. Another thing to get used to is when you drop your legs down to collapse it, to move it, you don't want to pick it up too fast.
Gotcha.
See how the legs didn't lock all the way. So you just want to give it a split second and then you're good to go. And just like any other tripod, you don't want to have a tripod go straight down without closing in the legs a little bit first. So my favorite way is to kind of grab 2 legs just like this. And I just like to walk it in, collapse it just a little bit, and then it'll just sink straight down to the bottom and then reopen just like that.
Okay.
The other method is also, if you're just trying to lower it just a little bit, you could also do the tripod swirl just like that, and it should sink back down. And also, if you don't want to make too much noise by letting all 3 feet drop down and hit the ground at once, like say you're at like a wedding or something, then it helps to just squeeze the clutch in while it's on the floor. Doing this over and over a few times, it will definitely help kind of give you a familiarity of the nuances of like how much do you actually have to squeeze the clutch. You don't actually have to squeeze it all the way in, kind of like a motorcycle clutch, right? When you're first learning, you might squeeze the clutch in all the way, but as you get better and faster, you realize the friction zone is only the tail end of the clutch. That also cuts down the reset time. So the better you get with that clutch, the faster the legs lock. Ready for TRIBEX aerobics class?
Okay.
Legs in.
All right, legs in.
Just like that, and then let's sink to the bottom. There you go.
Okay.
We're
Bring
good.
these back out.
All right, we're back up and level, release.
I'm figuring out the level part.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Takes
it's
a
right
second.
there. First try.
There we go. And then we're gonna close the legs in, sink it back down. 200 reps, go.
Yes,
Is that
drill
all you got?
sergeant.
Is that as fast as you can do it? Let's see your level. Oh, spot on.
I understand
There
it
you
now.
go. Every time I walk over here and this isn't level, I'm gonna give you a lashing.
All right.
that
Asian
like
parenting.
Now the official way to do it is set up your tripod, then mount your camera up top. But the unofficial way that I kind of like to do it, when you're in handheld mode, you have the most freedom to kind of move around, float, figure out exactly where you want your shot to be. And then once I find it, then I could just squeeze the clutch in, make sure I'm level there. And then now I'm ready to get that shot. Now you're kind of familiar with the leg system. Now let's get some nice shots of the Surround Ultra V. And hopefully Surround will see this and decide to sponsor us and give us a bunch of free e-bikes.
You okay?
So let's go ahead and attach the handle, which is pretty self-explanatory. You could attach it to both the right or left side if you want to. Loosen that is 1 turn and that's good enough. Press the button and pops right off. And then when going back in, you just want to line up the left side and then just drop in. You hear that click and then just tighten it back up.
A few seconds, that's
easy,
nothing.
right? Some tripods where you have to load it in from the back, so you have to kind of feed it perfectly like this and line it up. But when you have a rigged out camera, meaning it has all these different accessories on here, especially focus motors on the front, it can become really tedious to try to feed that in.
I see.
So that's what's nice about it, is that you can just drop this in from the top. Now this plate comes with 2 tripod screws. So the smaller one's a 1/4 20 and the larger one is a 3/8 inch. When you don't need it, you figure something out?
Do they come in here?
Look at that.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's very smart.
Let's see it.
Just nice and flush. Don't even need a screwdriver. You put quite some brain power in this. I'm not
There
gonna
has
lie.
been a lot of brain power exerted. I have no more brain power left now. Notice that these screws you could tighten with a flathead or also a 4mm Allen.
Oh, that same 4mm Allen that's sitting underneath the tripod. Okay.
You're a fast learner there, huh?
All right.
There's a button on the bottom that you could press.
Okay.
Press it, it just slides right out. Snug it up a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead and put it back in, and you're gonna want to push the button. And it only releases if you press the button. If you don't push the button, it's in there. And it's actually really strong. It's good to put like bags or
it's like
other
a
things
hanger
to
here.
hang on it. And it actually helps to actually weigh down the tripod. Hanging a backpack on there just helps with the weight. And also, we do have a flathead on here. Can you find it? It's hidden in there pretty good.
It's right in front of me, isn't it? Nah,
It is right here. See that little metal ring right there? Flathead that is magnetically attached to it. Yeah, go ahead and pull it out.
That was my next guess.
If you travel far for a shoot and you get there and you're like, oh, I just need a simple tool, that's there. Because sometimes you forget something as simple as like a tool set and it throws you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Your camera's like sliding around.
It's just like perfect for me because that sometimes forgetting something is like all of the time. So this is perfect right here.
We are
And
brothers.
Yeah.
One last thing we need to know before we mount the camera. What's that say?
It says standard.
And that can rotate.
Oh, okay.
And then what's that say?
RS series.
Notice every time you switch back and forth, that little tab switches. So standard is for standard Manfrotto style plate, which is the one that comes with the tripod.
Okay.
And also it's pretty universal. There's a lot of tripod plates out there, some a lot longer. So this is standard, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then this is from a DJI gimbal. It's a RS series plate. So RS2, RS3, RS4, and then you could just go back and forth without having to change out your plate. Now everyone likes to have different types of base plates on their cameras. I like this one because it has an air tag inside, but it's also an Arca Swiss, which is this type of mount right here. This is also pretty popular.
Got it.
So this is a base plate that comes off of a DJI gimbal that adapts the gimbal to an Arca Swiss. Now you have a RS style plate on the bottom of the camera.
Got it.
Right now it's on standard. That's gonna interfere with the rail.
Oh yeah, it's
Right?
getting stuck.
So you're gonna wanna make sure you have it on the right setting, which is
RS.
these notches are designed as safety measures. Forget to tighten this for whatever reason. Notice that it can't slide off accidentally. Now, a common mistake is people tend to put the camera body on the center of the tripod and it's front heavy. And this is with any tripod, you almost always want to have the center of gravity of the camera straight on top of the head. Now, there's quite a bit more to go over on this tripod, but let's just get started and see how you feel.
This is literally your first time getting video stuff, huh?
Yeah, yeah, apart from a drone, yeah. I haven't really gotten that many good shots, but like little tiny clips.
Yeah, ooh, here's first tip. See how that kind of tipped over like that? Basically, one of the habits you really want to get into is always hitting that lock every time you step away from that camera.
Got it, got it.
Or if you're gonna pick it up and move it or whatever. That's also why it's the biggest knob on the tripod, is because that's the one you want to get in the habit of constantly hitting. But this has something called a counterbalance. So right now it's on 0, which means it's off.
Yeah.
1 is for small cameras like this. So now notice that even with the lock off, I let go, it stays there.
That's something I'm gonna need.
A little bit more forgiving if you walk away from the tripod without locking it. You should still be in that habit of constantly locking the tilt, because that's just a good habit to be in. And then let's say we go to 2, which is what I'm using on the FX6 right now. But notice that if I engage it, notice that it springs back. So that's how you know that it's a little bit too strong.
Trying to compensate for the weight of the FX6.
Exactly. And then 3 is for like the FX6 with a bunch of accessories on it.
I like how it's got like this dampening feel.
Right.
So it feels like even though it's cold, I'm kind of shaking. It's not getting like all these jittery motions from my hand. It just feels like stabilization.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels really smooth.
You can adjust that too. So we have our tilt drag right here. So tilt is your up and down. And then down here is our pan lock. So pan is left and right.
Okay.
And then if I loosen that, now feel it.
Oh, this is what I was definitely looking for. Lighter for sure. It was mainly when you came across here, I felt like I was like struggling.
And one of the main things that was really important is that the pan and tilt locks are separate from the drag adjustments. You know, I could hit the lock, let it sit there, and then as soon as I want to start moving again, I unlock it, and that drag is exactly where I left it.
Got it.
Right, opposed to some tripods that are more lower end, if you just keep turning up the drag, then it turns into a lock. But that means every time you want to lock your tripod, you have to refine where your drag is.
Got it. And that's just more time.
Quickly, we're losing the lights.
Yes, drill sergeant.
Over here. Setting it up on rocky terrain on a hill, same exact thing as we practiced earlier.
Okay.
Oh, free Modelo.
Not gonna lie, this tripod is pretty nice. And I'm an expert, I would know.
Ooh.
That is really pretty.
Wide lens makes far things look far away.
Yeah.
Tight lens does this thing they call compression, makes the background appear much closer than it actually is. It looks pretty good.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Ken's first time shooting. Now that you're an expert camera operator with fluid heads, it's time to put you on a real shoot.
All right.
So we're here in Speed Vegas. One of the things I did notice is that you were constantly riding the zoom lens. And that works for a certain type of editing. But for this video, we're not really gonna wanna have zooms mid-shot. So basically you're gonna wanna find your focal length and then just try to stick with that. And then even if the car leaves frame, that's fine. That's a good cut point. Focus on finding the sweet spot with your pan dampening right here. So if we fully loosen up the pan drag, see, it just free spins. But today we're gonna add the drag, so it's gonna move a lot slower and it's gonna kind of dampen things a bit. Hey, look who it is. The one and only Bomac.
Ken Nagata, little brother. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, good to see you.
You're gonna do it, right?
What do you mean?
You're gonna go drifting with us, right?
I mean, oh
my. The car chasing us is drifting next to us. It's so cool.
Oh my.
So what do you think of Bomac's driving, Ken?
Dude, you're actually unbelievable, man.
Don't do it at home.
I actually forgot how intense it was.
Thank you, Bomac, the legend. I think this would be a cool low shot right here.
Yeah, okay.
So basically each one of these legs have a little tab that you pull out.
Okay.
And then it makes it so that you can kind of pull it straight out like that.
Okay, got it.
You can close the legs a little bit and that makes it easier to pull that tab out. And there's 2 positions that it can lock at. One is out here, right? That's kind of like your basic low mode. And this is your super low mode.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and just start with basic low mode.
All right, that's really low.
There we go. And here in this mode, you actually can still use the clutch to extend out and just give me nice, smooth tracking shots. I'm in a tight, and so you could be on a wide. The helmet shot, here it is.
This fluid head is amazing.
So now what we're gonna wanna do is go into super low mode, right? So basically it's the same thing. You unlock this and let it go all the way down. But notice that the center column is gonna start to hit, right? And we could actually feed it in upside down like this.
Oh, get
And this
it
will literally
really
put the
low.
camera right up against the ground like that.
Okay.
But I don't think we need to go that low for this. See that there's like a screw right
Yeah,
there?
I see a screw here.
You just loosen it with, guess what tool?
A 4mm Allen key?
There you go.
All right.
We want this tool to do as much as possible on this tripod. You just got to give it like a quarter turn counterclockwise.
like nothing, okay.
It pops off just like that. And remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Of course.
Right? Clockwise, always tighter. The problem is if you go too loose and then tighten it on the loose side, it can feel like it's tight, but it's not actually tight. All right, so now center column comes right off. Now you have the small stem, and you're just gonna wanna fit that in right there, and you're gonna wanna just pop this in as a safety.
Okay.
That way it can't pop out on
Got it.
accident, right? We'll go ahead and tighten that back up. And you're also going to need to have the lever in the outward position because we are about to go very, very low.
Wow,
Right.
okay, yeah, shoot.
Now, when you're in this ultra low mode, notice that it's so straight out that even when you squeeze the clutch, the legs don't even come out because, you know, the legs rely on gravity.
Yeah.
That's why we actually have these legs have a one-way pull system.
Yeah.
So if you need to level out, basically you can just pull,
Oh,
and the
okay.
legs will extend out at any point, but it won't collapse until
Okay.
you squeeze that clutch.
Until I
so
squeeze this.
go ahead and squeeze that clutch, and there you go, we're back in.
Got it.
So when you're going in and trying to level something like this when you're in low mode, you can go ahead and just go, oh, I just need to raise this side a little bit.
Okay,
And there you go.
and now
Look
you're
at that,
level.
Perfectly level.
All right.
So that is
Sick.
the one-way pull system.
Hey, it's crazy.
Woo, look at this beauty.
Wow, the smell of the tires
is.
burning.
Imagine a shot like this and then he peels out.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, right? All right, let's get out of low mode and let's go up there to get a high view.
That is really cool. This makes videography pretty interesting, not gonna lie.
And when you're moving, I always like to just collapse it.
Yep.
You know, again, give it a second and then pick it up. And it's easier to move like this because, again, it's easy to set up when we get there.
Yeah.
I love how he shines his flashers at us. Is your tripod level? Oh,
Yes,
look at
sir.
that.
That's
Nice
what I'm
and level.
learning. I'm learning.
Good job.
1,000 reps last night while you guys were sleeping.
And we're moving. All right. You see how fast we have to set up and get a shot
Yeah.
and then move and then get another shot?
Yeah.
So that's, again, a big part of why this tripod is designed with speed and portability in mind, right? All right, you've gone into ultra low mode, huh?
Yep, all leveled.
All leveled. Did you do the one-way pull system?
Yeah, the one-way pull system is definitely nice.
Now you want to try to get your height of your tripod as much as you can with the legs, but sometimes the legs are not tall enough. So that's why there's a center column, which just kind of gives you that extra height
Okay,
right
yeah.
there. So center columns have a trade-off. You know, it's not going to be as stable up here opposed to when it's right on top of the three legs. But at the same time, it makes the folded size much smaller. So it makes it a lot more portable. We may or may not be working on a cine version, hint, hint, where we are going to have more stability, but that also means we're going to have way less portability because when flying with it, it's an extra check-in item. Right? These you could just throw into your suitcase. But basically what I'm getting at is only use the center columns when you need it, right?
Okay, yeah, like right here.
now. Now this is the center column lock right here. This is what I would loosen to raise and lower it. Now this lock right here is actually really awesome and we have to put a lot of thought into it because it really grabs the center column. It will not come loose on you ever pretty much.
Okay.
In order to loosen it, you have to pull out and then just give it a half twist.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes, just a half twist and you're loose. Retighten it just like that. So if I don't pull it, it doesn't want to unlock, right? You want to pull it out and then it'll unlock just like that.
Got it.
Now to lock it, it's okay to pull it and then twist it, but you don't have to. You can just twist it to the right and it'll lock in and you'll hear a little ratcheting sound. This sound right here, it's just a one-way system. So kind of like bindings or a zip tie.
Yeah.
Same type of thing. And some people have also asked, is it going to wear down over time? Is it grinding? But no, actually the material used in here is the same steel that we use on the rosette handle right here. So a little twist from a knob isn't going to do anything to it. So this sound is nothing to be concerned about. It's supposed to do that. It's designed to do that. Now notice when you brought it down, it didn't seat all the way to the bottom. That's kind of like a pinch hazard safety. So basically you just twist it until it seats into the grooves.
Got it.
And then you're good.
That's smart. He's looking out for your safety.
Yeah, we don't want any finger pinching like what happened to my finger right here. This was not actually from the tripod. It's actually happening when I was trying to change the tire. And right after it happened, I took my bloody finger and put it in front of Ken to see how long it'll take him to notice.
With Gene's bloody fingers waving in front of me.
Oh, wait, what happened?
This 3/8 inch attachment is really nice because there's a lot of tripod heads and small sliders and different things that you could put on here. So if you don't want a fluid head or you want to go lighter weight and just put like a photo header on here or whatever. But of course, the downside of 3/8 inch is if you like to have heavy drag like I do and you pan left real fast, it could come loose just like it did right there. So to prevent that, we actually put 3 screws in the neck, which you can adjust with, guess what tool?
Oh, that 4mm Allen key that's on the bottom of the center stand.
I could go fit that in there, and I'm just gonna slightly just snug it up a little bit, you know? So now I can just go back and forth even with my drag up all the way high, and it's not gonna come loose on me,
movement.
right?
Oh, got it.
And I'm glad we're kind of covering all this because one person complained in a review that you can't actually take off the head. But then there was also another person who complained that when they pan left, it breaks loose, right? So now you all know that if you're encountering either of those issues, just go to these 3 screws and either tighten them or loosen it. So the feet right here, there's like a button right here for the feet, and then it reveals some spikes. That's in case you need like a self-defense weapon. What?
Oh, shoot.
Gene! Oh. Actually, can you guess what it's for?
Is it for like snow or icy terrain?
To put it back on, you just want to slide it in.
Oh, I kind of like doing it like that.
You see how there's like 2 prongs right here? This is to attach a floor spreader. These are floor spreaders which are popular in studio environments, right? They're not really good for off-road. So we're gonna go ahead and start off by releasing the legs, right? So that they swing out like that. There's a pull tab on these. Seats into the inside of the feet.
Got it.
One thing you'll notice is that if I try to raise up, notice that it just kind of sticks like that.
Yeah.
That's because it's fighting this friction right here.
Oh, okay.
Right? To adjust that, there's these screws right here on the legs.
Yeah.
What tool do you think we use to adjust those?
Not gonna lie, it looks like a 4mm Allen key.
So we just go ahead and just loosen it up. And notice,
oh, now it's like flimsy.
now. Yeah, so this is where you can kind of fine tune that.
All right, so the friction shouldn't be there because we loosened this. Oh yeah, that's like butter.
So the beauty of floor spreaders is really so that at any point you can go down, you can come back up. I could be up here and I could very quickly get into this angle down here, and then I can just quickly go up and then shoot down.
Okay,
right
I see.
Here. Oh, what's your score right now?
17. I only have 1 more life though because I was a little careless, not gonna lie.
Come up here on the pool table. All right, over the shoulder from back here. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Dying?
No.
Disappointing the family name? You have been demoted to SmallRig.
Oh shoot.
Negative calories over here. As of now, this is the only floor spreader that is compatible with the TRIBEX, but notice it's actually pretty big. This is in the small stage right here, but it gets much larger. That's because this was designed for a much larger tripod. Also, I'm noticing that when I try to close the legs, the floor spreader actually hits the center column unless I extend out the legs a little bit. There you go. So I did ask SmallRig if they could create a set of floor spreaders specifically for this TRIBEX here, make it smaller and make it so that it could fold. And basically they were like, yes, if there's enough demand for it. So we kind of want to hear if a lot of you love floor spreaders or never use floor spreaders. Me personally, I never use floor spreaders. That's why I saw off the little prongs of the feet. So with prongs and without prongs, just feels a little bit nicer.
For like better portability in a suitcase?
No, it doesn't really affect the portability much. It's more of just kind of the feel of the legs when they come together. Of course, all the filming we've been doing inside of dirt and sand, that's totally fine. But, you know, in general, you want to avoid getting sand and stuff inside of the legs, or really all camera gear.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to keep it clean.
I've done a lot of filming with this in sand and I haven't had any problems, but I am mindful of not throwing the tripod in the sand and then burying it.
No scavenger hunts?
No scavenger hunts.
Okay.
Now let's say you get crazy and manage to get sand into your tripod legs and it's not functioning as smoothly, then the official recommendation is to send it into a service center. There's one in the US now. They'll clean it out and send it back to you, but there is a way to actually open it up and clean it out yourself. So we're gonna make an instructional video on how to do that yourself. It'll probably be posted on SmallRig's YouTube channel or something, so I'll link that below. I've also used it in heavy rain and it hasn't been an issue at all, but if you submerge it and waters get in the internals, it could get a little bit sticky, so just let it dry out and it'll be good as new. Another thing to keep in mind is that the the minimum operating temperature of this tripod on paper is minus 10 degrees Celsius. So it does work fine in freezing temperatures, but you will notice that that clutch does take a little bit longer to release. So you just need to support that tripod a bit longer. We have also done more extreme testing at minus 20 degrees Celsius, and it does still function there, but below that, you're probably better off using more of a traditional latch and lock system.
I've never been in any temperatures that cold, so.
Anyways, it's already time to send Ken back home. We're driving to the airport. You excited to go back home, Ken?
No, not really. Didn't beat the Pac-Man high score, and I didn't even learn everything about the tripod.
I mean, we definitely got through most things, but there's definitely a few more features that are cool to know. So like, if you look on the side of the head, there's an attachment point for an arm. Those are nice because you could basically attach any type of accessory you want off the side of it. Sometimes you attach like a video transmitter or maybe a monitor, battery, even like your phone. Very useful, which is why I wanted to have two on the head, and there's also one on the leg. The one on the head is nice because it actually tracks with the camera. So let's say you're mounting a microphone, you want it to move with the camera, right? Or same with like if you want to have a secondary angle from an action camera or your phone filming vertical or whatever, it's going to match your movement that you do with the tripod. And there's also a mounting point on the leg as well, which won't move with the head, which is useful for if you're mounting like a monitor or something while you're sitting down. Definitely recommend using arms that have those locking pins. That's why there's slots on both sides. That's going to make sure that your accessories don't come loose and slip. We're already here at the airport.
Yeah, time flies, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get to learn enough. Off the camera, all that gambling and drinking, all that was so fun.
You've been doing what? I told you not to talk about
Oh yeah, well, that's why I said we can cut this part out. You're a god at editing, come on now.
For the record, he did not do any gambling or drinking while he was out here. Keep your grades up.
I'll try.
He's got much better grades than I ever did. What are you, in AP classes and everything?
Yep, I'm taking all the hard classes.
You're gonna miss your flight. All right, bye, Ken.
All right, see you guys soon.